obviously we've spoken a lot about gender-specific roles. We know in the Bible a man is called to pursue, right? But there's been like loads of arguments about, the woman shooting her shot, shooting her shot.
Like, which scripture is that?
He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, not she that findeth a husband. Exactly. Are we clear? Okay, good. Okay, so obviously, in society now, it's not being a thing where, a woman can actually pursue, which obviously
propose in public.
There's nothing wrong. I mean, proposing in public is a whole different topic, but okay.
That's a different story.
So
Please don't propose to a guy. Please.
For the both of you. For the poor guy as well.
Please.
No, you can.
Please.
You can.
oh,
As in someone can.
Someone can. You're free to.
I can.
okay, cool. Okay, no judgment here, but obviously. So I think why is it becoming okay? We know what the Bible says about pursuing, but I understand that a girl has to position herself, be available and all of that.
But are girls positioning themselves?
That is it. In Coco, the matter.
Very good question.
They're positioning themselves. They're tired of the position. They're just waiting.
Oh well, so some people.
Will you ask me out? I'm standing here.
How are they positioning themselves?
Girls.
What does that really mean to position yourself?
I'll
Does
give
it
you
mean
a good
so
example.
giving?
No, wait, chick. Let me explain. Like,
Position yourself.
why? What does it mean? What do you mean by I liked your tweet? Like, what does that mean? How many people are liking my tweets and pictures on Instagram?
So what does it mean
That
to
was a
position
subtle
yourself?
positioning. Maybe she.
That's what some girls call as positioning. Two of us were in the same room. Like, two of us were in the same room.
No one is saying that.
What?
Two of you are in the same room.
Please,
Do you know what positioning can be, like, in terms of interaction? Maybe somebody that you have known for a while, and she's then showing you attention through those things. Maybe less subtle than that.
Attention.
Try and grab his attention. If he's standing there now, I'm not trying to say, submit or whatever. Have you eaten? What do you think about the food? Be creative about this thing. What do you think about the food? Be creative. Nobody asks a girl what she thinks about food.
One question I want to ask: why is it that I won't say girls, so it won't be a massive generalization? Why is that when some girls like a guy and they see him coming by, they act like he doesn't exist, and they act like they pretend he's not there? Like, what? Is that meant to motivate the guy?
That immature. I think that immature.
I think that's immature.
Can I just tie this in? So there's a thing where you guys apparently like to chase. You don't like something that's just available on a platter. There's a general connotation about that. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but it's been a thing where you like what is hard to get.
Yeah.
So hence why some girls might think, okay, actually, if I behave like I don't see him, he'll want me more. But then obviously, we're talking about mature relationships here, hopefully. People, one of the main pillars of three-strand cord is actually intentionality, like being intentional about your feelings and about your stance, about things. So obviously, like, if we're talking about people like that who are mature and intentional, I'm not saying people are not mature, but so like, why, if she's shooting her shot or if she's positioning herself, saying things, appreciating little things that maybe not everyone appreciates about you, and then she's giving you all of these signals,
and she's talking to
you, like, how is there maybe there's a fear that maybe you think she's sending signals but actually she's not sending signals, and there's a fear of being knocked off and making the whole thing awkward.
I think that there are different levels to it. So firstly, I'll just get it out there that I think a mature man, when he knows if he likes a lady, he's going to chase after that lady. If he's mature, spiritually and emotionally mature, right? Now that is one case. But there's another scenario where the man may not actually have seen the woman under his radar. Not that he does not like her, and not that he's not trying to be intentional, but he just has not seen her physically. Maybe she will be there, but he has not seen her. Do you understand? His eyes have not opened yet, basically. So now, some women. So that's where talk about this. I feel that a woman needs to have a certain skill in terms of positioning. Now, when I say this, let's be careful here, because also some ladies may think they're positioning, but they're not really positioning. Right? They're not positioning anything. You know, some people will be like, okay, right, like they'll probably walk past him, you know, and they'll think, like, oh, he's seen me, or I spoke to him, I sent message first. Do you know how many females are sending this guy messages first?
So what do you expect?
I think that's significant though, sending the first message like a few times.
How many people are sending him messages?
But you know why though? Because on the flip side, if somebody is talking to me, I'm sorry, I'm just getting emotional about this. Because if somebody is talking to you and you don't like that guy, one way that you would communicate that if you're trying to be polite is by maybe not replying that much, and certainly not really initiating conversation all the time, because that could be perceived as leading the person on. So for the mere fact, as a female, that I'm entertaining you for that long, shouldn't that mean that you have a chance here?
But it depends though. Now you would not reply when you know that this guy actually is trying to chat you up, right? So when you see that, okay, the guy is sending some vibes and you're not really feeling the guy, and so then you begin to put all those, defensive mechanisms to just try and just push him away. But if it's a case where I'm trying to get to know you, you're trying to get to know me, there's no one has said anything, not being too forward here. So you won't come with, oh, I'm not going to talk to him because I don't want to give him any vibes. You just be friendly, just say hello, hi.
So when a girl is talking to you and being friendly as a guy, a girl that you've met newly,
in
a new context,
okay.
It's not as if you grew up with her, it's not your childhood friend. She's always like, I don't know if you took her number, but like you're adults, you start talking, you just assume it's all, if she's engaging you just assume it's all friendly. Like you'll be too, you won't shoot your shot because you're just assuming it's all friendly until somebody says something.
No, again,
I assume.
That's why things are dead.
No. Let me tell you why I assume.
Things are not moving.
No. Let's not dive into how hot somebody's timeline has been. But actually, you know the thing. I've just never assumed, right? And I'll give you an example. In uni, right? So I was going for this girl, right? And then she said something one day. She was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call you." She was like, "Oh, don't call me." Then so I don't know what games she was playing, but I wasn't playing those games too. So obviously I walked in and I left the whole situation. In third year I come back and I'm chilling in my yard. And all of a sudden I see text. I don't even know, first of all, that's her number. So I'm like, "Oh, sorry, who's this?" And she's like, "Oh, it's I was like, "Oh, okay, how you doing? Been a minute. Okay, cool." And then I started dating somebody else. But bear in mind, then she was not like, "Oh, she likes me." And I was like, then one day, I was in Niger and everybody was just chilling, we're all just hanging around and friends and stuff. And that's when she was like, "Oh, but I liked you, but Ade, you didn't see anything." I was like, "See what?"
But I told you I was gonna call you, sis, and you didn't want me to call you.
So those kind of games, like, but not every guy plays games. Okay. Not every guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't play games, right? No, I like don't get me wrong. I like rice and stew. They tease me a little because I don't like boring girls. But tease me a little because I don't like no because if you think about if you have a boring relationship, okay, everybody comes back home in the evening after work.
You like wit, basically. You like things to
I like wit. At least throw in some wit. I'm not saying that go all out and be going to going on nuts. No, that's not it. But just have some wit. And also, position yourself. I've spoken to
you. So we're saying position. Give us, all of the guys here, give us things that particularly.
Why are you putting us on the spot?
Yeah, because clearly we think we're positioning ourselves, but we're not being positioned.
Papa has just said that because of past experience, because he will still not assume.
No, that's what I'm saying. That if I'm asking you now personally, what are the things that a girl can pick up? Okay, actually, this might not be. Well, in general, you've seen it maybe amongst your friends, not necessarily particular to you. Let's keep it nice and anonymous. But you think this is a girl should definitely positioning herself.
I'll give you one.
I'll give you one. Girls, take notes.
I'll give you one.
It's not your situation necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just
So I've seen a good example of a lady positioning herself, and this is from the Bible.
Okay, you're gonna use rules.
Yes.
Don't use rules.
I was going to use rules. And I'll say my perspective of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because if what Ruth did then was done in the modern day, right? You know, the man's field, you know, blah blah blah. She now lay down at she now wait, hold on now. If she, you know, a lady was to go and, you know, wherever the man is plowing his field, you know, she now sleeps beside the man there. People, hold on now, calm down. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying if it was done in this day and age, a lot of people will be like, what are you doing inside another man's house? Do you get? Right. Now the point is, it's not that it is encouraged. Now I think certain things should be done, and hers was done under counsel actually. So it was done. She followed counsel. I think Naomi. I think that's you know. So it was done under counsel. So I'm not saying just go and just lie down on anyone's feet, right? You know, it was done under counsel. But the point is, the positioning was super effective.
Okay, but in this day and age, how can we like, because that one was too big. Like, I mean, obviously everything is. No, I think the guys need to give the examples. We need something practical. No, you're saying that you don't assume. I'm saying give me a practical example now of, you know, wow, that sounded so. But like, can you please give a practical example of, you know, a girl actually positioning herself in this day and age, what she can do to position herself for a guy that she's interested in?
Okay.
Yes.
So you're at the barbecue, right? You see this guy, the cool dude. You could either walk up to talk to him as a just normal.
Just
normal.
normal.
Oh, you knew. Whose friend are you? You know, you don't need to. And if he's interested, he would engage you and he would collect your number and he would follow up.
Yeah.
That already is positioning.
Fine.
I think that's very simple.
Okay,
It's not. Doesn't need to be anything
what about
complex.
for girls who don't?
So that's not a turn off.
Why would that be a turn off?
For some people, they
Just
say
a
that.
friend. Like,
People do
are
that.
you new? Oh, are you new here? Oh,
Some
okay,
people
cool.
it is.
People say that.
But the thing is, some people will always. Not everyone is always gonna.
But why do you disagree though? Why do you disagree?
I mean, I disagree with a couple of things that have been said. First of all, the no assumptions thing. Like, okay, first of all, okay, there's some things that you said. Not that I disagree completely, but I disagree with approach sometimes. Like, I think sometimes when a man is intentional, it can put you off. I think it depends on the kind of woman you are. Like when they're intentional very quickly, it can put you off. Like it puts me off. Like I'll give you an example. Like a guy that I just met newly for the first time. When I met him, I was like, wow, he's really cool, and he has a lot of characteristics of someone that I feel I could be with, which I think is really cool. I think for me, ideally, actually, the person that I want to be with is someone that is my friend. I think it's actually really hard to have authentic relationships with someone that you're meeting and then you're meeting with the intention of I want to date you. I think that's just really hard. But I know that like in an ideal world we'll all end up with our high school sweethearts. But like in the real world, I understand that that's how it happens sometimes. You actually meet somebody for the first time and then you vibe and then you actually start a relationship. But I think the best thing to happen is you meet each other, you're actually friends, and then maybe after some time you go into a relationship, because I think in that way you weren't trying to impress each other or like trying to be in a relationship. You were just friends, like, and it just so happened that you were both in the position later down the line that you could actually be in a relationship together. So I think that ideally is what I would like. I don't really want a man to necessarily approach me with all his intention to make me his wife, for example. Like I was saying, like I met a guy who I felt I could actually be with. Like I feel like we were actually quite compatible, and he was so intentional that I was very I really didn't like it, like in the sense that he made it really clear that this is what he wants to pursue a relationship, and like he would like to like be married in the future, and this is a Christian man, of course, and this is a mature person. So I just thought, gosh, like you don't even really know me like that. Like, why are you trying to marry me? Like, we've just met. And I think intention has to be guided. You can't just run with your intentions and like every woman show her that you're pursuing her for marriage when the context is not right or the time is not right. For me, I think it was just too soon, too fast. Yeah. And I'm just like, can you like try and get to know me a bit? Like, I know, like you think you know me and you think you understand me, but are you sure? Like you're literally saying you could marry me and we've known each other for like a month or like 2 months. I think sometimes cool down.
What about
I don't know. But then
in
that scenario you gave is obviously is the ideal scenario, like a friendship budding into a relationship. But therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
If he's not going to be intentional about it, at which point is either party going to let down the walls and say let's pursue? So I think the difference is just timeline. Now the difference is literally just when is this going to happen. Because I really appreciate what you're saying, because it actually resonates with somebody that I was put off by that same thing. Like I'm like, is this intentional? Is this foolishness? You don't even know me. And you try to wife me, but you don't even know me.
Exactly.
You know. But I think it's that thing of, okay, somebody, I think Toby was saying, you know, how long is talking, like, you know, as a guy who wants to make an informed decision and be sensible about things, fine, he wants to talk first, but I don't know, like how are you going to be confident enough to move into the next phase if you want to, or to not to move into the next phase if you want to?
Well, it depends on if he's seeing things that he doesn't like at that point. Then, you know, I'm just speaking from a general point of view, not mine or anything. I'm just saying that you build a friendship, and then at some point maybe everything just seems extra friendly, and you're not going to now go into it and continue that and waste the poor girl's heart or something, and you're not going to do that. So what I wanted to say was I may have skipped my mind now actually.
Is it about positioning?
No, not positioning, but okay, what about this, right? You're intentional, right? Cool. But you're like, oh, actually, but I just want to be friends. I just want to get to know you. I just want to be friends. Like, I'm not trying to like rush into.
Yes. Oh, I like that.
If you tell a girl that,
it's like,
oh, I do like you, I'm feeling you, but to be honest, I just want to be friends, and let's just be friends, and let's actually just chill.
I think that's a healthy balance. Like, so, because I think being intentional is really good. I think it's something that's well, in my opinion, I think it's something that is we don't have enough of right now. People just want to talk for long periods of time, waste each other's time, feelings. Mind you, people are putting in effort and time to speak to you. I mean, we don't have to. So if you're going to take the talking stage for like 1 year and you're not going to say anything, I get it, you can be too strong at the beginning, but also you just stretching it for that long also doesn't, I feel like it wastes both people's time, and then feelings are involved, or feelings might never develop, as he said, you might just end up being friends, and that might just keep it nice and cool. But even when you find, because I think somebody mentioned like not like finding out that later on you find things that you don't like about the person, everything, even when you get married, is a decision regardless. There's some things that you're not going to like, but you're deciding. So I think there's also the healthy benefit of being intentional regardless, but actually removing all of the pressure of putting your best foot forward and actually I like you and I want to get to know you still as a friend. No pressure, let's keep it nice and light, and but there's still an intention there.
I love that, because as a Christian man, don't feel the pressure that every woman I'm going to be in a relationship with is my wife. You don't have to feel that pressure. Just relax. Like you were saying, like, I like you. I want to see where this will go, but actually, can we be friends? That is really nice.
How many guys are saying that?
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. As a Christian man, is it okay to be this intentional with lots of different girls? Like, as a Christian man, can you be intentional?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, because you don't want to meet 4 girls that you like and be intentional with all of them because you're trying to get to know all of them.
But why? Can't you do that?
I think the problem is when you tell a lady, if you give a lady that sort of hint, her mind just goes 10,000 miles ahead. I think that is a problem.
Oh wait, which hint? When give a lady that type of hint, let's say the lady's feeling you. Yeah, lady's feeling you, and let's say you're feeling the lady, but you want to take it slow, right? You want to say, right, I just want to get to know you, I just want to be friends. Can I say something to that? I think just because I think you should still stand by the truth, like despite of that, and like each party needs to own their own emotional maturity. So for instance, I think as a guy, just because a girl might react in that way, it doesn't really mean that you should change what is good. So I think being truthful and being intentional the way you should know how to, you shouldn't water that down just because as girls we can get carried away. And as a girl, like, this has come from experience and learning. Yes, we do that, but the onus is on us to gain strength and emotional agility, and that's something I've been big on right now. I've been talking to my cousin the other day about that, and like how, like, let's guard our hearts a bit more. Like, how do you get to know somebody without completely becoming vulnerable to them and trying to create connections with them? As a girl, sometimes like you're talking to a guy and you really wanted to, like, oh yeah, we're going deep, but like don't do that until like get to know each other, but just keep it light, so that I guess it's easier said than done. But I think that the onus is on us as girls as well.
So let me ask you a question. So then, is it right in that sort of scenario, that sort of setting, for the guy to do that with more than one female? Basically, that's a question for you guys. Is it right then?
I think
Nah, because it's like you're selling dreams to all 4 of them. Because if you eventually pick one, what's going to happen to the other 3?
That's the problem.
And then at the same time, you probably wouldn't pick all 4. And what if they and what if all 4 of them have shut out other possible options and focused on you? And I think that's what gets some women really mad. Is the fact that that why are you wasting my time? Like, if you knew what your intentions were, now why didn't you tell me at the get-go?
So isn't that a two-edged sword then? So isn't it a case where, okay, if you let them know, but you just want to take it slow, then to be like, oh, you're leading me on, or leading all these females on. Isn't it better not to say anything? Watch, watch, eat, and pray. Don't get your hands tied. Because I know people who have done something similar, and and it turns out that they're not carrying his gist. This one that chatted me up the other day. I don't mind him. He's just a womanizer. When the guy actually is just like what we said. He just wants to keep things easy, take things. He's made intention known that okay, I would like to. There's the potential that this could develop into something else, but not yet.
I guess. Past experiences, like Papa's one, like past experiences can probably cloud people's judgments or make people more aware, or force them to make decisions that are not warranted for. So I mean, you can't really blame some people sometimes.
What do you mean?
Like if they've had really bad experiences in the past and they start to guard their heart really well, and anybody that comes their way, they're like, okay, I know you're serious. You're on serious, like all guys are the same. You've gone serious. So I mean, sometimes you can't blame some of them.
But I think it's healthy to have that balance. But I think you probably shouldn't say that to 4 people, that I like you and I want to get to know you more.
Yeah, because
I think that exactly. I think the prerequisite is getting to know all 4 girls in a general environment. You've been studying them for ages, and then you finally pick the one and say, okay, actually I want to get to know you even in more detail, and I like you. But saying that to 4 people, I wouldn't.
So you can try and position yourself. You two position yourself in a way that you can be observing these 4 girls.
Yeah. And ideally not in the same friend circle, please. It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
He said about, because it's the same thing I do myself. I don't assume unless it's black and white. And many times as ladies, we like to infer for men. He said, as friends, let's see. You already started renting wedding gown. It's wrong. Never assume. There's a scripture in, I think it's in Songs of Solomon, that says, ladies, don't awaken love before it's time. Don't infer. If he didn't tell you, if he hadn't said, this is what I want, and we are doing this now, and you say, if he doesn't say that, please don't.
And I just realized that it was actually ladies, like she was talking to the ladies. Do not awaken love. Why didn't you say that to the women, to the men? It was ladies, daughters of
don't awaken love before it's time. Because they like to wake up love when it's not ready.
It's funny you say that, because I've actually been in discussions where men were telling other men that, why do you guys think that way? The way you've already also made her your wife in your mind. So actually, it's not just obviously it's known more to be a woman's struggle, but like I was surprised to hear that men actually do this.
Maybe because men don't voice it out, they don't go out. Ladies,
do you start imagining your wedding day and stuff?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really think that far when I first
me neither.
Like except.
Let's finish the first one first.
Wedding days. I've not even spoken to you for 5 weeks. We've not gone out like 3-4.
Okay. Let me ask you. This is quite a dicey one now. You've not imagined the wedding day, yes? But you've thought about her, like getting to know her and her possibly becoming your girlfriend. Actually, as a celibate or man that's waiting, have you imagined, what's the word? Consummating the marriage.
So remember, so the first episode we spoke about kanji, right? And kanji is something that I think it's the work of the devil almost. That sometimes you have no you almost have, it's almost like a bird flying by your head. Sometimes thoughts can just fly. You have to quickly chase them away. So you may not have, but your wedding day dress cannot fly.
Why not?
No, it's not for me anyway. I don't know about other men.
So you're saying that you're blaming Konji on possibly thinking about her and consummating the marriage, but you've not thought as far. But that's further than thinking about wedding day. If you're waiting till marriage, isn't it?
Because the thing is, it's not.
But for a guy, like they can be thinking of doing it with somebody else as well.
Oh, wow.
But don't ladies think like that too. Don't you think of different men?
Doing it with the person that you are pursuing.
I think because it's a temptation. It's a temptation to sin, which is different from wedding dress. So I think that there's a higher propensity for that. Yeah. The devil would take what's good and want to turn it upside down. Right. So I think there's a chance for that to happen. But even I was going to go back to when you say like you should not make that intention known to 4 different ladies. Even if you don't make intention known for different ladies, you're just talking to them. I mean, you don't live in the same. You're not housemates, so of course you have to be chatting. You have to be chatting with people, so you need to know, getting to know all of them. But if they say that, oh, this one is just talking to this one, talking to this one, that means he's not a serious person. It's kind of like I've not said anything to anyone. I'm just trying to get to know them.
Okay,
right?
so in this scenario, you've not actually said the whole thing of, oh, I like your match.
I want
get to know you.
No,
you've not said anything. You're just talking.
You know that one of is that it's probably good. It's going to be one of them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But ladies, well, I won't say.
That's what I'm saying. Ideally, you don't want it to be in the same friend circle, as much as you can try not to. Because then, if you're talking to somebody in Nigeria, one here, one in America, maybe I'm being a bit. Of course, there can be mutual friends in general, but like you go to a church and you're talking to 4 girls in the same choir. I mean, really?
Why is she always quiet?
Sorry, that just came into my mind.
Do we?
That's a bit like.
Do we think that like we're in all these issues? This is just like a question for thoughts, because maybe God's original intention, like, do we feel like it was to date, and just now that the way society has become, we're no longer setting up marriages, we're no longer just this is your husband, this is your wife, and we're now having this whole new thing of dating, and like there's nothing really navigating that.
I think it's good. Like I would say, like, you have to know how crazy someone is. Like because I think I don't know how. I think before parents used to arrange marriages, and as much as people say, oh, your parents know who you are, you have to know who someone really is, because when you date someone, like, you know who they are, so that when you marry, you won't be like, oh, I didn't see this in the dating stage, or what's going on, like, this is not what you used to do. So I think dating is good. Like, you get to see someone. I mean, most times you get to see people for who they are, because I know some people switch up once they marry.
But then most people say that they showed signs of that before, but the other person was just a bit ignorant of those signs. They might not have been like
emotion.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why I think if one thing that I see is that maybe it's a red flag is when somebody doesn't want to be accountable, because then you can't listen to wise counsel when you might be emotions might be getting in there. If you're not accountable or you're not listening to wise counsel, then the emotion is going to obstruct whatever flags red flags that can be seen.